As a SaaS founder, I am skipping Fable 5, completely ignoring it, and I think you damn well should too if you're a SaaS founder. Let me explain. When we are running a SaaS business, we've got really three parts to the job. First, we've got to build the product, then we've got to get people to start using the product, start paying us, and we've got to get them to keep paying us. Now, I'll show you what I mean. I built a little tool here just to explain this visually. I think there's four core parts to running a SaaS business. There's coding, there's product, there's distribution, and then there's architecture. Now, if we talk about coding, which is obviously, for those of us that are technical founders, that's what we think about and talk about and spend most of our lives on. Before the creation of things like Cursor and all these other AI coding tools, I use Cursor, I love Cursor, but before the invention of that, before the creation of AI coding, the complexity and the difficulty of the coding part for a SaaS business was orders of magnitude, almost literally orders of magnitude higher than what it is today. Now, on this little chart that I have here on my screen, this is a radar surface area chart that I have made just to demonstrate visually the key sort of complexities in building and running a SaaS business. So each of these four pieces of the puzzle, what I say, goes into running a good SaaS business: coding, product, distribution, architecture. So what I've done here for visual simplicity is I've allocated a difficulty score for each one of them. And this is about how I think things are today. I think coding with the use of AI, Cursor, and that type of thing, I think coding is a 3 out of 10 in terms of complexity. Product, I've done other videos on this, and I'm not going to turn this into a 30-hour talk on product, but I think the complexity of building a product, what you should build, what you shouldn't build, how users should interact with it, all of that type of stuff, I think is more difficult now than it was years ago because there's more competition and there are more options on the market. So product, I say, is an 8 out of 10. Distribution, I think, is the hidden pain point that sort of catches out a lot of SaaS founders. As we get in, you start to build products and then you start to try to get users, and then you say to yourself, well, what the fuck am I going to do now? Nobody's paying me. I've got this great product. I've spent a month or a year or 2 years building it. Nobody's paying me. So distribution, that process of actually getting paying users and retaining paying users, that's a challenge. And then architecture, of course, is about a 5 out of 10. As I've said in previous videos, architecture is more complex now than it was, 5 years ago, 10 years, certainly 20 years ago. But the reason I don't score architecture more firmly on the difficulty scale is because we have what I call the brain augmenting devices. We've got things that we can use to help us think and all these other AI tools. So here's why I'm skipping Fable 5. It's very, very simple. If you look at the surface area of this chart right now, it adds up to 53,395. So that is the stuff inside this blue polygon area. So if we said that our coding tool right now, before the release of Fable 5, we were running, and frankly, I still use as my daily driver in Cursor, I use Sonnet 4.6. Nothing has come close to beating it. I love it. I use it every day. But if we said, all right, Fable 5 is fantastic, it's magic, smashes all these numbers, I'll come back to the point of benchmarks. Benchmarks don't mean a damn thing. But let's say Fable 5 truly is great, and it might be. Let's say that takes our coding difficulty down from a 3 to maybe a 2.5. Maybe, all right? All that's done is that's reduced our again, this is my made-up score here, but that's reduced our difficulty score as calculated by the surface area of this radar chart. That's reduced our difficulty score in our overall SaaS business, running the SaaS business as we do every day. That reduces our difficulty or complexity or challenge score to 51,000. Now, let's say we ignore that entirely. Leave it where it was, 53.3K, or call it 53,000. We ignore all these tools, we ignore all these other new coding models that come out, and instead of doing that, we focus on one thing, and that is distribution. Let's say we could find some method of, and there are plenty, I should say, let's say we used some method of expanding and scaling out our distribution. The two things that I absolutely love Not just because I'm a co-owner of a company that has a tool that does it, but ChatGPT and having other LLMs recommend your product to users is mind-blowingly wonderful. But let's say we took our distribution and instead of having that as a challenge as a 9, we bumped that down to a 7. Look what that's done to our complexity, our SaaS business operating complexity, 44,000. So what I'm saying is, yes, these models are fantastic. And I'm sure Fable 5's good, and frankly, I will try it. But it'll be on a weekend, maybe on a thing that doesn't really matter that much. I'll mess about with it. My point very simply is this. The lowest hanging fruit is not trying to eke out a small gain in the coding tools and what they can do for us, because most of us already have a product that functions. Most of us already have a product that we're now at the point where we need to get paying users. So messing about with Fable 5, whilst it's fun and whilst it's appealing and whilst it sounds good and everybody's talking about it, isn't going to do a damn thing for the business of running, for the business of gaining users and running a software business. So I'm focusing on the things that actually do move the needle. That is distribution. That's basically all I care about at this point is distribution. How do I get paying users to me? I've done another whole video on that. If you want to go and take a look at it, it says something like, I tried all the SaaS marketing methods. I'll give you the spoiler now. If you want the spoiler is you do 2 things. You get LLMs to refer traffic to you, and you do just about nothing else. But if you wanted to do something else, there's a hidden upside that many people are leaving on the table, which I talk a lot more about in that video, which is using direct mail. There's a way that you can use direct mail to get tremendously good numbers. So in any case, I'm ignoring the hype. I'm ignoring the fact that there's a new coding model that might get coding down to a 2.5 instead of a 3 in terms of day-to-day complexity in running my SaaS business. I'm looking just at the core challenge of distribution, challenging that complexity and bringing that down. And I think if you're a SaaS founder, I think you would be well served to do the same. Ignore the noise, ignore the models, ignore the hype, just get to work and get some damn paying users. Now, if you are a B2B SaaS founder like me and you don't yet have the amount of paying users, forget the bullshit free ones, but if you don't yet have the paying users that you want, here's what I'll do for you. I'll take a look at your product, I'll take a look at your market, I'll take a look at the positioning overall and, competition, all that shit. And I'll make you a video, one-to-one video, personal, private, it won't be shared online anywhere. And in that video, I'll do exactly the same exercise that I do for paying clients that I work with. And the end result of that video is very, very simple. You'll get at least one, probably 2 or 3, but at least one very specific, actionable thing that you can do over the next 90 days or maybe even over the next 30 days, 60 days to bring in more paying users. Again, we don't give a shit about free users. Anyone will use anything if it's free. We want the ones that pay and keep paying. Now, whether that means you'll go from maybe 0 paying users to 50 paying users, or whether it means you'll go from 300 to 500, I don't know, because I don't know your baseline. But I'll take a look at it for you. If there's a link in the description, if you want to send through the details, I'll do the video, I'll send it back to you. Remember, though, I can only do this while this channel is tiny. People have been saying to me for years, oh, you should make videos, you should... All right, well, I fucking started making videos. So let's see how many people send things through. But if the form is still online, I will do the video for you. So click through to the description, see if you can see the form. If it's there, send it through. I'll take a look. I'll send you back the video.